It's a bit dark in here, isn't it? Does that give you more light? I don't want a floodlight out. I'm not in a floodlight sort of mood today. A floodlit sort of mood. Bing! I started doing a video on... I've got one of these, you see. I started doing a video on one of these about a year ago. And it's got a very similar problem to this one. So I thought, oh, okay then. I've had this new rule over this last 6 months of not really working on plasmas anymore, but this is a later plasma. And okay, the one that I've got works for about half an hour and then goes into standby and gets stuck in standby and you can't do anything with it. And I managed to get it going and I sold it, and the day I sold it, it went funny again, so it came back and I haven't done anything with it since. So lo and behold, customer comes in with this model, and I'm sure he says, oh, after 5 minutes it switches off, goes into standby and can't do anything with it. Well, I plugged it in the other day just to test, and it was just stuck in standby, wasn't doing anything. So I'm going to switch this on now. Lo and behold, I'd got a red standby light. Oh, it's coming on now. That wasn't doing that the other day. Oh, it tried to come on. Yeah, it's trying to do something anyway. Or is that red light just flashing? Sorry, you can't see the red light. I'm a bit nervous about putting the camera... I'm holding this up. It's a heavy plasma. Can you see the red light now? What can you see? Can you see that? Yeah, you can possibly see something that resembles a red light. Oh, I can hear it clicking inside. It's just that I've got a main board for this. I'm now not convinced it's a main board issue. But I tell you what, just for the sake of it, we've got a main board. Let's just put a new main board in this, or a different main board, and see if that changes anything. I'm not going to bore you with how to take all the screws out and the back off, so just give me, I was going to say a minute, but it's going to take longer than that. Now, yes, this comes from an age when these sort of TVs suffered with bad caps. But this also comes from an age when if the caps didn't go bad, it would confuse the living daylights out of the EEPROM. And the EEPROM holds all the information about the TV, tuning details, etc, etc. So there is a chance, I've only got a main board to swap, but there's a chance that it may need a power board and a main board, unless the caps are obvious. But the one that I had didn't have any particularly bad caps. In fact, the board always looked pretty new on these. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm just... yeah, no bad caps as such. But let's do, you know, just for giggles and stuff. Let me just... I'm going to disconnect the scan boards. Do I disconnect one or two? You only have to disconnect one. You just disconnect that one. Just to see if the TV now wants to come on without any issues. The trouble is with these, you can't see the standby lights, so you've got to lift them up all the time. So do we have a standby light now? Yes. Does the TV want to come on now? No. So we still have the issue. It's not a scan board issue. I just want to listen to what's clicking. I wonder if I can. Where is the red light on this? Where is the red light? The red light is on that side. I wonder if I can just wire it up so the camera, just so I can see the red light. I can't see anything at the moment. Now I can see the red light. Well, I can show it to you just in case you can't, but the red light is round about there. There. So now at least I've got a screen view of the standby light and what it's doing. Now, just want to hear if it's doing any clicking. Any clicking. Oh, what's the red light doing? It's just clicked here. I didn't test the red light. Interesting. Whenever I press the on button on the remote, that makes the relay click on the power supply unit. Okay. What does that tell me? Not a lot. This main board looks different. Well, it looks a different colour, but everything else seems to be fine. Yeah. Anyway. Have I switched off? No. I'm going to switch off. Oh yes, I did. I unplugged, so I don't have to switch off. I'll be pleased if the main board sorts it. But I'm not convinced at the moment. Only because the one that I've got of these, I tampered with the power supply unit and got it up and running temporarily. So, but anyway, I was just talking to a Samsung friend of mine. And we looked at it and both sort of went, well, if it's stuck in standby, it's a main board. You know, we didn't test any volt, we didn't even take the back off it. And the main boards for these were tuppence. I think it really was. I think this was less than £5. I think. Anyway. So if this brings it on now, yes, that obviously proves it was a mainboard issue. But I would like to keep it, I would run this for several hours to make sure it stays on, because the normal fault with these is, yes, it comes on, but then it switches itself into standby. This one has always been in standby. It's never known anything else but standby. Right, so everything's been connected. Can I push this further up? So we've just put a new main board in there. You didn't get a chance to see much. Let's plug it in. Let's keep an eye on that red light that's supposed to be. Do we still have a red light? I heard a click. Oh, and it's come on. Sorry, you can't see the red light because I've moved it. Dinkety dink. And I'm breaking it. Well, that proves beyond a shadow, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It's got a few sparklies, but I'm afraid you do have to expect some of these models to have sparklies. Right, so the only thing I can do now, I'm not sure what you can see because I'm blocking. Oh yeah, you can see that. And if I lift the camera up, you can see that. So I'm going to give this a feed. I'm going to put the back on it. Very important is putting the back on it, just in case the problem was, or still is, if it still has the problem. Because do you remember what the customer said? The customer said to me, TV comes on for about 5 minutes and then switches off. I haven't seen it do that. I've only seen it stuck in standby. But I do know that the one that I've got comes on for 5 minutes, half an hour, and goes into standby. So what I want to do is just put a few screws in this, put it on, run a DVD through it, and I'm probably going to run the DVD through it 2 or 3 times. Not necessarily a soak test, but I want it well past the 5 minutes, half an hour test. And I should be able to lay this TV down flat without the power lead or the HDMI getting damaged. HDMIs are on the side, there's a recess for the power lead. And then I can leave the Blu-ray player to do its funky stuff. Keep forgetting that these TVs are a bit on the heavy side. Well, there we go. No. Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. Perfect. I don't seem to have much space today. So which HDMI is this going in? It doesn't matter, it's going in. There's only one I can get it to reach on the side. and that's the side it's going in. So TV is coming on. You probably can't see very much. Oh, well, it made a noise, so yeah, it's come on. Didn't get a Samsung logo at the beginning, but that's probably part of the menu. Talking of the menu, let me just... Where's the settings on this? It's here. Let me just see where we are. Well, we're on dynamic. Not a big fan of dynamic, as you know. Source. HDMI 3 is the one we plugged into. Let's hope the HDMIs are working on this. This board is in smart mode. Not smart mode. Shop mode. That it is. Should start and get a picture soon. It's picking up a big scratch. Oh, it's the source. Sorry, it's the... I'm looking at totally the wrong camera. Wrong camera, wrong angle. Right. Still not come up with a picture. Oh, it hasn't come up with a picture. What's wrong with HDMI 3 then? Just wasn't in. I'm going to say something now which may shock you. That is a dreadful picture. And obviously I've seen this picture so many times on the different screens that I've tested of late. There's been some amazing pictures. That is... wow. Oh, it's gone back to dynamic again. Let's go back to standard. That's made it look better a bit. But it's only 720p. I've been used to obviously 1080 and up to 4K resolution on a few things. I'm going to leave it on shop mode for the moment. I shall reset it at a later date. But the only thing I can do now is let this TV do its thing. Have we got sound? No. Did I plug the speakers back in? Don't know. I thought I plugged the speakers back in, but maybe I didn't. Oh, hang on a minute. We heard it go ding, ding, ding when it first switched on. Didn't we? I'm going to switch off. Yeah. So the sound is there. The sound's not coming through here. So I'm just going to do a factory reset here. Just see if that then picks up the HDMI. Might even get a logo when we switch on now. Then again, we might not. Thank you. Let's go back to HDMI 3. Still no sound. Not looking good, is it? I'm going to try HDMI 1. Just supporting the HDMI for a second. So let's go up to HDMI 1. Do we get sound here? No. Okay. Well, at least we found what the fault is. Well, especially if this stays on. It may not stay on. I'm going to have to run it for a bit. Oh, hang on a minute. Here's something interesting. There's no sound coming from the Blu-ray either. So I'm going to switch this Blu-ray player on and off. And see if that gives us the audio back. I don't know why, I've never had a problem with the Blu-ray player before not giving any audio, but that's good. It's just a blip with a Blu-ray player, hopefully, rather than a fault with this other main board. It does take such a long time to boot up this disc. You know, it's 2020. Should be able to slip a disc in and life be good. But no, you have to wait for it to go through its bits. So anyway, in a minute it should go to the home screen and it should play some music. Yay! There we go. So the only thing I can do is this: leave it on the Blu-ray menu where it continues with sound and picture constantly, and I want to give it a 3-hour test. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Why am I not going to do that? Because it's a plasma. And I could cause burn in here, leaving this for 3 hours. Wouldn't be good. So I'll play the movie. The movie? I shall play the film and come back in an hour and 45 minutes and play it again. And just hope that it goes through and plays it. Oh, right. Where's my mouse? So I'll stop recording for a moment. I'm going to let this play for however long it wants to play for. I think the film's about an hour and 40 minutes. And then I'll come back and see. And hopefully, it will be okay. Morning. Sunny day, lovely. This is the next day. I ran it for a couple of hours last night. I think we ran it for 3 hours last night. I've been running it for a couple of hours this morning and it has been faultless. As you can see, it's still on, it's still fine, it's not switching to standby. So if you have a plasma of this particular ilk being quite, it's one of the, it's not the very early plasmas, but it's a PS50C680. And I'm going to date that at what? 2010, 2011? It's a good 10 years old. But the picture quality in this is now good. When we first set it up, I think there must have been a problem with the Blu-ray player, because the picture quality was not fantastic, but we got the sound back just by switching the player on and off, and it came back with a better picture, so I'm not sure, but not really worried about that. The plasma is working fine, so if you have one of this ilk which is working for a certain amount of time, then switching to standby and then not reacting to the remote control and not really coming back on, that's kind of the symptoms with these. It is a main board. I really did think with mine it was a power board issue, and I will get mine out in the next week, so we'll do a comparison test and we'll find out if the one that I've got needs a main board as well, because they're still nice TVs. They've still got a little bit of value. Not a great amount, but they've still got a little bit of value. I would prefer, you know, if I had £150 in my pocket and I had to go and buy a 32-inch brand new, or buy one of these, I'd still buy one of these, because the picture quality is fine, slightly bigger screen, and the sound quality is good, and it's still a nice looking TV. You know, if you see this TV in somebody's living room, you don't look at it and go, oh, that's ancient. You look at it and go, oh, nice Samsung big TV. Still has that appeal. and I'm pleased to say it's working. Customer's going to be coming to pick it up in an hour or two, so we'll end the video here. I will screw the back on and put the stand back on, obviously. What have we got coming up? Well, we've got loads more of those TVs that have had the power surge, but I think we've done those videos, really, haven't we? Unless I find anything different. I mean, I'm always filming these things anyway for my own safety, just in case, you know, customer says, oh, you didn't put a full set of backlights in, or you've damaged this. Not that that's ever happened, and I hope it never happens, but I do film anyway, just in case I have to rely on something. What have we got coming in? We've got backlights on a 40-inch bush. That's going to be a bit boring, isn't it? I can't think. Yeah, we got odds and sods. But thanks for watching this one. Hope it's helped.